First of all, I'd like to tell you something about the dark matter. The visible light is something that we could see in the universe. What we could see takes up only less than 5% of the total matter in the universe. That means 95% of the rest of it, it's considered as a dark matter, is a dark energy that we cannot see and we cannot feel. So how could we explore this dark matter particle? We have made of a lot of solutions, and this is one of them, the particle explorer. And why we give the name Wukong to it? Because Wukong has a very special function in his eyes. He could detect the invisible things. For Thailand people, they're also familiar with it, with this name of Wukong, because they have a similar feature in the legends. It's called Hamlet. That is the Thailand version of Wukong. So the moment they see this particle explorer Wukong, they feel very familiar. And very rapidly, Wukong, the particle explorer of dark matter, has grown viral. And for this book, the Pilgrim to the West, with the character Wukong, actually is also translated to the Thailand. And we know that they have made a phonetic translation. They use the Wukong directly, and we can see the impact from the cultural side. And this object is recycled. We know that here we can stand on the surface, we have the gravity. In outer space, there's very little gravity. For this satellite, it's used in a condition of microgravity, and it could perform different types of experiments. And after the completion of the mission, we will recycle it. And under different conditions of the microgravity, we can do different kinds of scientific experiments. The last one, it's Huiyan, another satellite. Actually, I cannot understand what it means in Chinese, the name. It's using the X-rays to explore the universe, the outer space, and it's also an explorer for the dark matter. It's just one of these satellites to explore the outer space. And it's named Huiyan. First of all, is to memorize one scientist in China. And in 2018, President Xi Jinping has also mentioned this satellite during his New Year's speech. These satellites are the cutting-edge technology representatives of our CAS. At what level in the international community that you consider you have with these satellites? Actually, these are the symbols of our research levels, and it also shows that we have progressed so much and we have gained so much experience in the exploration of the outer space. With the accumulation of the experience and expertise, we will continue to move forward and make more contribution in exploration of the universe. And for the curation of the exhibition, you have also made a lot of efforts. Why you made the first station of exhibition in Thailand? First of all, we have a long history of friendship with Thailand, and for many years we worked together in the scientific domain. The most important reason for this first station put in Thailand is that we have the Belt and Road Initiative, which is in accordance with the long-term development of Thailand. And the Prime Minister of Thailand has also sent an individual invitation to the Chinese Academy of Sciences to visit Thailand. And we have also established an innovation center in Thailand. Actually, it's the 9th overseas center of Chinese Academy of Sciences, but it's the first overseas platform for us to translate the research results into the industrial uses. Nowadays, the Chinese enterprises are going out also with the Chinese technologies. Apart from the governmental cooperation, we see that the non-official cooperation in the scientific area is also very well developed. For the scientific cooperation, it is very enriched and diversified. For example, our 2 academies of sciences have worked in depth for the cooperation, and this is also what's expected by the people at both sides. We have cooperated in the co-establishment of the Big Data Center and some other research centers. Just now we talked about something space, and what about the land exploration? What is the special technology behind this model? There are 2 things. To this side, we could dig until 7,000 meters to 10,000 meters. And this point is 4,000 meters, and then it could make a turn. Usually, when we are digging down into the soil, we could only go vertical way, but here we could make a turn. Because we have developed this software, this is a chip made by China attached to the digging instrument. And at what level it is now? In the whole world, it could be considered as a world class. Also a product of the Chinese Academy of Sciences, the Institute of Geological Studies. This one is from Shanghai. This looks like a missile. Let's first start with this. Is it a scientific experiment ship? That is for the deep sea exploration, an instrument for the deep sea experiment. When we are in this ship of Yongshi, we could go deeper and deeper. Currently, we could get to a depth of more than 10,000 meters underwater. It's as capable as another one, whose name is Jiaolong. And they could cooperate one with another. And what differs this one from Jiaolong? Actually, they are following different scientific missions. At the bottom of the sea, there are different creatures and also different resources. For us, we don't have enough knowledge either for the universe, either for the deep sea world. And now for the CAS, you are using this scientific exploration ship. What missions have you completed? We have sent the ship to other countries like Thailand. For example, the Princess Sirindong has also expedited a delegation to visit our scientific exploration ship. This one, 勇士, is similar to 勇士, another exploration ship, and it's manned ship. For other countries, they have developed similar models. However, some cannot hold men at such deep place by the bottom of the sea. Once they go to depth of the sea bottom, they have to go up to the surface of the water directly. This is like the airplane under sea. So his function, it allows us to have a view on the sea creatures. It's like a vehicle running by the bottom of the sea. In the South China Sea, for the exploration of the oil and some other resources, is it connected to the utilization of this? Not yet. It could get to a depth of 6,380 meters undersea. It could cover the South China Sea, Huanghai, Donghai, and also East China Sea. As we know that for these Chinese seas, they have a depth more shallow than the 6,000 meters. So with this equipment, we could cover already the major seas of China. For the majority of the objects present at the exhibition, we have a translation into the local language, otherwise the people could not know what it is. And the officials from Thailand have also participated in this exhibition. For example, the high-level official, including the Princess of Serindom, has participated in all rounds of activities, and Princess herself has taken a lot of notes during the visit inside the exhibition. So for this current exhibition, it is admired by ordinary people and also the scientists and also the high-level officials, including the princess herself. The officials from the Privy Council of Thailand too. We have also seen the visits by the citizens, university students, etc. Talking about Princess Serindom, she has significantly promoted the friendship between China and Thailand. And each year she visits China for major projects, including the projects of scientific cooperation. And she has greatly promoted the scientific cooperation between the two countries. From 2003, Princess Serindom has visited 18 times the different institutes under Chinese Academy of Sciences. For the Tianyuan, the largest single aperture telescope and other important achievements of the CAS, once it is published, Princess Serindom came to China for a personal visit. And for this current exhibition, Princess Serindom has stayed here in the place for more than 3 hours. We are very thankful to the contribution and efforts made by the princess herself. We'd like to thank Her Excellency for her long-term support. Today, these satisfying results obtained between China and Thailand for the scientific researches cannot be separated from the support by Her Excellency Princess Serindom. And she has also facilitated the exchanges in culture and some other aspects. For this satellite, what is the major function of it? That is the quantum communication satellite. That is the Mozi. And this is the drone, just delivered by Chinese Academy of Sciences, with a load of 1.5 tons, and the autonomy is 8 hours. Is it based on electricity or the oil? Oil. It's independently made by CAS, yes. Last year, a product of the last year. So this part is related to people's daily life. Those are equipments for medical care, because we know Chinese Academy of Sciences is cooperating with some other medical branches and institutes for the development of medical equipments. For example, we have this medicine to treat Alzheimer's. It's named 971. Is there a cooperation with Thailand for Alzheimer's? It's one of the 3 major diseases in the whole world. What cooperation with Thailand? We cooperate with the medical group of Thailand, some hospitals, and also cancer centers, as well as the Ministry of Health of Thailand. We have worked on different aspects, for example, the scientific and also the instruments. Talking about this cooperation, what are the important highlights of the innovation? What are the synergies between China and Thailand? What are the highlights? For our bilateral cooperation on science and technology, in the very beginning, China has already started its technology transfer for the production of porcelain to Thailand, because China is a very big manufacturer of porcelain. And porcelain from China has also greatly contributed to the development of the cities. During the Ministry of Ming, China manufactured porcelains in its inland provinces. However, we have also detected a big demand for Chinese porcelain products from the Southeast Asian countries. So we have transferred the technologies to these countries to help them to have an in-place manufacturing. Today, between the 2 governments, we have signed an agreement in 1978, just after the establishment of the diplomatic ties, because the diplomatic ties are put in place in 1975. So this year marks the 40th anniversary of the signature of the bilateral governmental scientific cooperation agreement. For the scientific cooperation between the 2 countries, we have to consider the demands of the modern manufacturing industry, including the high-speed railways. And today, we have cooperated in the industrial, academic, and research side. We have also put in place a joint research center for the high-speed railway in order to develop a product that could be adapted to the local soil of the Southeast Asia. Another example is for The biotechnology. Very soon, we're about to establish a joint research laboratory for the biotechnical researches and also the genome studies. Chinese high-tech enterprises like Huawei, JD, and Alibaba, they have also come to the place in Thailand together with the cloud computing, big data, and the business models in smart cities and other technologies. And today in Thailand, they have built up the data centers and also the intelligent logistic chains. All these technologies brought by Chinese enterprises have also made the people happier in their daily life. This is an introduction of the intergovernmental cooperation. The biggest project is about the construction of the high-speed railway. The Chinese technologies have brought significant changes to the life of the people in Thailand. In the northeast part of Thailand, there's a province with the biggest surface, however, with the slowest economic growth. I remember that when I'm interviewing the Minister of Transport in Thailand, I asked him that whether we could refer to this railway built in the northeast part of Thailand as a railway to alleviate poverty. He said exactly. We know that with railway, we could bring greater progress to urbanization and the social progress. It can also boost the economic growth. In history, a lot of cities like Wuhan, Zhengzhou, and Shijiazhuang, especially Zhengzhou and Shijiazhuang, their development are highly due to the construction of the railway. Usually, when two railways cross at one place, and this place would recognize a very big development later. Once this railway section in the northeast part of Thailand comes into operation, it could significantly promote the economic growth and connect different areas, and it also connect Thailand to Myanmar by another transport means. And this could be a very good help to the Thailand economy. Once there is a developed network of transportation, then we can have a greater regional economic growth. And we know that today there is also a lot of instability or uncertainty issues in the society of Thailand. Once the economy grows in the future, we could also expect a more stable society in the country. In the northeast part of Thailand, as we mentioned before, the economy is lagging behind in comparison with the rest of the country. And due to this unbalanced economy, we could see the segmentation of the population into different classes. And that is the major cause of the instability in the society. And today, if we could realize this project of the construction of a railway, we could greatly benefit the people, and we could cast changes in the socio-economic plan. I agree exactly. If you want to be rich, please build the roads first. That is a famous saying in China. When we visit the northeast part of Thailand, the biggest headache is that there is a lack of the railway. So people are eager to see the coming into operation of the new China-Thailand railway. We want to have the earliest connection of this railway.
So
that the whole economy would be put on a high-speed track and start to boost. And we also know that agriculture is one of the major sectors in Thailand. And over there, we have some facilities and instruments for the plantation of agriculture. Could you please tell us something for the cooperation in the agricultural side? We know that Thailand is famous for its perfumed rice, and it's very popular in China. However, they have a limit on the overproductivity and the volume of output. And China has developed for years hybrid rice, and you know that one of the limits is with the flavor. So we want to solve the problem combining the both features of the Chinese rice and the Thailand rice, so that we could have an output of rice that has at the same time good perfume, good flavor, and a very huge production. With the technology of CAS, with the technology of Dr. Yuan Longping, Thailand could greatly increase its volume of rice production. However, to produce the Thailand perfumed rice, you need the particular soil and the geographic location in the tropical area. And we know that China has little area that belongs to that criteria. For example, between the peninsula of Leizhou and also the province of Guangxi, we only have a small portion of land that could have a similar place to apply the plantation of the perfumed rice. So to solve this problem, we need continuing efforts from the scientists. We have to do multiple rounds of selection of varieties, and we have to apply these varieties in different parts and locations in China. I've witnessed this by my own. The governments are supporting these products. At different places in Thailand, we plant the culture in different seasons of the year in order to have a test to see whether we could expand the plantation area and also the plantation window time. If we could have a satisfying result by the end, it would be a very good news for the Chinese and the Thailand customers. Those are the stands for the high-tech enterprises. We could find some pioneers, for example, for smart city and for the big data. For the smart city, we think it's very important and it attracted the attention of many people. However, in nature, the smart cities means the collection of different data. And then we have to do the analysis of the data, and finally, we should also apply the results of the researchers into the real life. In China, we have already started the application of the smart cities. However, in Thailand, in Bangkok, it's not yet started. We know that as an international city, Bangkok is facing a headache of the traffic jam. If we could use the smart city technologies, could it help to solve the problems? For example, people are parking illegally their vehicles by the side of the road, and now they are spending a lot of human and also financial resources to solve this problem. In Beijing, for example, one of the applications of the smart city strategy is to regulate the roads. We use the surveillance camera to punish those people illegally parking their vehicles. If you wrongly park your car, then your image would be captured by the surveillance camera and you would be directly punished. And the whole network would help to ease the burden of the transportation policemen. We have also some other networks to reduce the load of the traffic on the roads, and some high-tech enterprises, they are involved in the smart city development, and most of them are private enterprises. I think it helped to show one big feature in the China-Thailand Scientific Cooperation. The private enterprises, they are taking the lead. Yes, for the governmental cooperation, intergovernmental cooperation, we have limited resources. We could only give the focus to some key areas. However, for the big coverage, we have to heavily rely on the forces and contribution of the private sector. Talking about the smart city, we will directly think of the transportation problem. However, transportation is just one of the issues covered by smart city. When we do the smart cities, we have to see with the whole transportation system. For example, at the back stand, we would have a screen showing people when will the next bus come. There are some other things to be covered, not only about traffic jam. And for the smart city, this private enterprise is an enterprise contributing to the public security. What are your programs in Thailand? Not yet in Thailand. Why are you participating in this exhibition? Actually, we are responding to the call of the CAS and to the initiative in Belt and Road. These are the products. This is an instrument for the security control. We have three advantages. First, it's very fast and efficient. You pass by this gate by only 3 seconds, less than seconds, and it's in no contact with the body. At today's spot of security control, usually people have to hold one instrument by their hands in order to detect the strange objects on your body. However, with this gate, there is no need to touch any part of your body. It's applied in the city like Nanjing and Urumqi, in airports and railway stations. It's very inconvenient for people to pass today's security control spots. For example, we have to take off the shoes, we have to take out our computer, etc. We can detect metals and non-metal objects. Today, some non-metal objects could also be dangerous. For example, the porcelain knives. With traditional methods, it takes longer time. With our product, it takes less than 3 seconds. At today's airport, they have to hold the instruments and go through all the body in order to have a check. And for us, you just have to go through that gate in less than 3 seconds, and then we know the results of the detection. What is your project in Thailand? We've not yet started the project. However, we are considering the business with Thailand. I'm not an expert on the Thailand market. However, I think it's a big destination for tourism. We could use the big data to do some analysis on the future development opportunity for the tourism side so that we could grasp the opportunity as soon as possible. For the big data, it plays an important role in the decision-making of the government. In the past, when we do business, it's something dependent on our feelings and guesses. Today, it could be much more precise thanks to the help of the big data. These are the sensors. For example, people are wrongly parking their vehicles, and some people have problems inside their home. With the sensors, we could directly detect and solve the problems. It's also something closely connected to the smart city. And also, the underwater pipeline breaks out, then it's directly detected by the sensor. We'd like to interview the local visitor so that we can know what is the feeling given by this exhibition. Could you please introduce to us your product? We're a company for the manufacturing of sensors. For the smart buildings, the smart controls. We would attach and embed the sensors at different spots of the buildings so we could have a detection of the changes. I'd like to give you one example. In the water pump, there is a sensor. When there is a problem with the pump, then by the terminal of the sensor, there would be a signal sent to the people. So it's more like a smart community. Could you use this product in the smart city? So it's like we are expanding the utilization of this product. At the beginning, we start with a smart building and smart controls. Because the coverage diameter of the sensors could be 200 meters, and by different connection ports, we could have a connection of all the sensors. So at the minimum level, we would start by the smart buildings. Are you cooperating with the high-tech enterprises from China? Or do you have a future plan on this kind of partnership? They are cooperating with Harriet for the management of the hotels. And for your parts and the parts of the product, do you import from China? Yes, all of them come from China. What is your feeling about the quality of these product parts? In a responsible way, the sensors and also the hardware imported from China, they are leading the world level in terms of the quality. And when we are using that, we are assured today with our partners in Thailand, the top 3 partners, we are also cooperating. Let's move ahead and have a look. This is the largest heavy ion accelerator for medical use. Most of the equipment used in the medical side is imported from other countries, but this is innovated by China and is used for the curing of cancer. Because I'm an outsider, could you please use simple words to tell me the function of this equipment? This accelerator is equipped with a technology of heavy ion. It's a technology for the radiation on the cancer cells, the tumor cells. When we do the radiation, we could be very precise so that the radiation could only be focused on the damaged parts without giving any negative impacts on the healthy parts or healthy tissues of your body. The heavy ion is considered as the most advanced cutting-edge technology for the treatment of cancer, and this is an equipment developed by our own institutes. Could you please give a comparison between the traditional treatment and a new treatment based on this accelerator? For the traditional one, we have the chemo, we have the radiation, and also the operation. For the operation, you need to open the body. For the chemo, you have to use the medicals, and it usually would have a lot of second effect. For example, people can see their hairs falling down, they feel very sick, etc. With a heavy ion, it could be different from the traditional radiation, and it can provide us with a better treatment effect, efficiency. Is it still in study or operated in the hospitals already? In Lanzhou City, we have constructed the demonstration models and another in Wuwei. And in Wuwei is detected by the authority, and it would be put into the clinical experiment. Afterwards, we can have a certificate. How long do you expect to wait until the operation in hospitals? Next May, we expect to have the certificate, to have the permission to use the instrument. And then we can apply this in the hospital. This is a very big accelerator. This is a model with a scale of 1 to 50, with a size of 75 meters of length and 47 meters of width. We have vertical treatment and vertical and horizontal treatment. The cost of this equipment is 550 million RMB, and each year 10% of the maintenance fees. And what's new here? For the Maritime Research Institute, what is the product? The technology for the treatment of maritime pollution. From this picture, you can see that it's very close to the Thailand situation. The red Thai have you cooperated with the Thailand government and enterprises? In 25 water areas in China, we have applied this technology. We have also considered the significant special cases like the nuclear stations and also some residential areas. We have cooperated with the government and the private sectors of Thailand. What is the advantage of your technology? We can very rapidly reduce the red tide. In 3 minutes' time, the water can be cleaned, and the material comes from the soil. It is very friendly to the environment. For the high-speed roads, when that's constructed, we need to have some well-performed vehicles. For example, these enterprises, they have a special product. Could you please introduce to us your product, the application of your product? We are a data company supported by the Ministry of Science and Technologies of China. We offer the literacy services to the domestic and international companies. For example, the magazines, essays, and some other electronic resources. And secondly, on our platform, you could have a basic understanding and also evaluation of the current progress of Chinese academic arena. You could give us the comments on the progress of certain individuals, of the institutes, branches of researches, etc. We have a whole coverage. In the Southeast Asia, we have just started. We know in China, we have the one phone database. This is like in a virtual form. And in China, we also have the National Library that is in the paper version. Of course, when you compare the data and the paper books, obviously, there's a big advantage with our data in the electronic form. You just need several hard disks to have all the books in a very large library. And on our platform, you can not only read in one single form, but also you could use the tablets, the iPhone, etc. And then you could also have an analysis service and also the research side support. And also some forecasting service. Have you ever done a data collection? 10 years ago, if you want to write an essay, you have to go to the library. And today, people are more likely to use the data in the database. Today, for the books, magazines, newspapers, each year, there's a big drop. With the digitalization, the digital resources, with the publishing volume and the reader's volume, it's rising very rapidly. And today, we have still maintained that tendency of fast speed growth. What is your future growth expectations in Thailand? In Thailand, we just entered the market. By participating in this exhibition, we have talked a lot with the local people. We know that the resources in the Chinese language we could start to have an exploration of that in the local place. Due to the historical reasons, we don't have a lot of people reading in Chinese in Thailand. However, gradually in recent years, thanks to the application of the Belt and Road Initiative and also the power growing of China, and also considering the development of the bilateral friendship, we expect more and more people reading Chinese literacies and publications in Thailand. That's why we see big value in our product. Thank you. For the robots, we have two categories of robots. One is for the commercial service, and another is for education. First of all, I'd like to show you Alpha 1. That could dance. It's very attractive during our commercial roadshows. We have also performed during the Spring Festival Eve
实际的
performance.
我们的这个 to C 端的机器人有不同的类别，这一款主要在疾控功能上然后接下来我会演示一个语音对话。
We have different types of
智
robots.
能的一个演示。
Another one example that I'd like to show you later is the dialogue capacity, the communication capacity of the robot.
一台云商用服务机器人。
This is the commercial one. We have an example model here.
这台云商用服务机器人在迎宾问询导航和售后服务方面有很大的。
This is a cloud technology commercial
一个 CCTV 的录入
robot.
大家可以看一下效果。你好，克鲁泽。首先，声音唤醒词。
For example, this function could welcome the guests.
很快的一个反。
Very rapid reaction. Hi, I'm from the Shenzhen Yubishen company. I'm the robot. To welcome you, I have several functions.
对，它有两个交互方式，第一种是
You can directly talk to him, right? Yes. You can use the voice. Now, it's available in Chinese language and English language, and very soon you can have a Thai language. I'd like to show you another function. For example, how it can entertain, how it can attract more people.
反应非常灵敏。
And it's very flexible in reaction.
这个是在展区里面是特别能吸引观众的这样的。
When you have a robot like this at the exhibition, you can have a lot of audience coming around you.
结合了很多 AI 的特性在里面，所以大家对此也比较感兴趣。
And there's a lot of AI features embedded with our robot product. I'd like to show you another function.
客服的功能大家看一下。
For example, the contact and also the facial recognition. Actually, we have a time limit. The facial recognition. If I'm a client coming to make a declaration to have a claim, then I will just deliver the message. Please call the service. And then the robot will make the call for you. How much it costs? Actually, it's a customized product. We are a very big platform for service. We could develop different products to the demand of different clients. If I want to buy this, how much should I pay? Because this one is to business. It's not to C, it's to B product. It's more used by the enterprises and government. It can also help to navigate. There's the camera, the sensor, the radar, 3-in-1 to recognize the obstacles that it would encounter during the walk. Thank you. There's another one that you should not miss. A product that we have just published last month. It's called Wukong. It's a family member, intelligent family member. And it's very useful for the children in the family. Embedded, there is a Tencent voice system. It can help the children to learn, for example, to learn the traditional culture and to learn foreign languages. It's something good to play with. Is it toy actually is more than a toy. It's more intelligent because it's equipped with AI technology and also the computer vision, the CV, and also the machine vision. It can have a detection of different books. The other normal toys cannot have the similar functions in the market. We think that it has included a lot of functions. So until now, it's about the end of our visit. Could you please make a conclusion for today's program? By this exhibition, we could see that China and Thailand have cooperated a lot on the scientific areas. With the support of Mr. Lu, the ambassador of China to Thailand, and the embassy, the Ministry of Science and Technology of Thailand, and also the CAS, this exhibition of CAS innovation in Bangkok is about to close. This expo has attracted the attention of lots of people, and the local people have actively participated in this expo. The princess herself and the ministers from the private council and the citizens have all come to have a look at this expo. They have gotten to know the new achievements of the Chinese arena. And secondly, they have also expressed their readiness and intention to deepen the cooperation with China in the scientific arena. For the private partnership, and also cultural cooperations. And for our embassy of China to Thailand, we would give a very rapid feedback to the relative authorities so that we could push the bilateral scientific cooperation to a higher level. Thank you. After this live stream of more than 1 hour, we show that these products are no longer something far away from our real life. It's closely connected to our daily life. We have shown you the products about the sea, about the outspace, the universe, and also the medical side, etc. And we are convinced that these Chinese products would also contribute to the social progress of Thailand. So that is about the end of today's program. Thank you for watching.